Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll and I am running point on this channel. This is your Highland Park August real estate update. We're going to get into everything you need to know if you're looking out in Highland Park, one of the most popular areas on the east side. Over the past 2, 5, 10 years, things have really skyrocketed. Homes are very valuable, but we're about to see a turn in the neighborhood that has already started, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the current statistics. We'll do some month over month so we can see exactly what's happening. We'll look at some year over year. And at the end of the video, I'm going to do homes that have caught my eye so I can try and find you guys some value in this very popular neighborhood. So stick around for that. Let's go. In Highland Park right now, things are very popular in Highland Park. People want to live there. It's really boosted. There's a lot of great downtown areas. The neighborhoods are getting safer, and things have been pretty crazy over the past few years. And we're starting to see a turn in the neighborhood, and that's obviously based off the lack of demand with 7% interest rates. Now, the inventory is very low, so home prices aren't dropping, but they're starting to see some progressions. Because if you look at currently, we have 38 homes available for sale. 10 of those 38 homes have seen price drops. That's a 26%. That means that they, most likely in a normal market, that means red flags, something wrong with the house. But in today's market, it's just a seller that's starting to get anxious, and the numbers are going to tell us why that's happening. Maybe it's mispriced. Maybe they're looking at what their neighbor's house sold for, a year ago or 2 years ago, and they think that's what they're going to get. And then they, face the reality of what the market's like right now. And we're starting to see this consistently. I think this trend is going to continue as we move into September and October in Highland Park. The minimum home available for sale right now is $700K. The maximum is $3.499 million. We're going to talk about that home in the final segment, so stick around for that. Average right now, and this is a number that's glaring, is 1.478933. That number typically in Highland Park is between 1.1 or 1.2. If you've been following along in the channel, if you've been following along in the Highland Park updates, we consistently see that number at 1.1, 1.2. So we're about $3.5 million over on the average list price. So that's one thing that jumps off. The second one is the next statistic, which is the average days on market's at 61. And that is the breaking point. So normally that number is going to sit between 30, 45. That's typical for homes currently on the market. When it gets into 60, that's when sellers start to get weary, because now they've been dealing with open houses and all the stuff that comes with selling your house for 2 months. These are people that listed in June, hoping to probably make the transition over summer, and now school's just about to start again. So that 26% price drops is probably going to increase, especially when you look at it average as far as home sales in Highland Park. And if we look at August of 2022, we had 26 homes sell at 108% clip, so meaning 8% over the list price. So when homes that are attractive come on the market, they are still getting a couple of bids and selling over that list price. But we're probably not going to get back to that 26 number with only 38 homes available for sale on the market right now. But if you are looking, we got to check out last month's statistics, because what's most relevant is what's most recent. So let's do that now. All right, so we're jumping into July, where we actually had 18 homes sell at 112% clip, which is pretty good for the area. 12% over list price is very desirable for the sellers, so good attribute there. 18 is not terrible for mid-July at the current market with the inventory that we have available. We'd be happy to get to that number in August as well. The minimum side was $450K. That home sold for $51K over list price. It was a complete project, a complete remodel, listed for $399, sold for $450. The top end, $1.81 million. That one sold for $111K over list price as well. So what this is telling me with just those two numbers right there is on both ends of the spectrum, we're having some buyer interest, because at 112%, that's one of the higher numbers you're going to see on the east side as far as homes sold, the clip as far as over the list price, and we see it on the low end and we see it on the top end. So when an attractive home becomes available, it's still jumping off in Highland Park, though the trends, as we saw in the last segment, might start to just bring that number down and switch that trend. Average home sale last month 1.110, 157. So that's our sweet spot, right? That's what we just talked about. We've been looking at month over month. Is that number typically stays on average between 1.1 and 1.2. That's why the 1.478 right now that we have on the market is probably deemed to come down. We'll see. Average days on market for the home sold was 39. That's a little high. Normally the for sold side is between 20 and 35. We're not going to worry about that too much being at 39. If we looked at July of 2022, we had 17 homes sell at 110% clip. So almost identical from a year over year perspective, actually a 6% increase. The amount over the list price was 110 last year, 112 this year. So we got to see the middle month, the July, midsummer, kind of stay consistent from a year over year perspective, which is good. But I think that's going to start to turn as we kind of head towards the end of the year here. And inventory has no signs of coming on board with interest rates staying at 7%. Jerome Powell just raised the rate. There's a chance he raises it again his next time out, which is just in a couple weeks here. There's certain that he's not going to drop the rate, and it's going to stay like that for the rest of the year, meaning no inventory because 80% of people are below a 5% interest rate. They really kind of screwed things up in that regard. But let's see if we can find some value in the neighborhood with homes that have caught my eye. Let's go. Homes that have caught my eye out in Highland Park. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the entry-level position looks like. So what does it take from a minimum perspective to get into the neighborhood? We're going to talk about my favorite play. There's all types of realtors out there. There's the neighborhood experts who know about the restaurants and, the coffee shops and all that kind of stuff. There's the curtain callers, the ones that watch HGTV and know about curtains and countertops and floors. I'm a finance guy, so when I look for my favorite play, it's about the numbers. I want to find my clients a home that's going to appreciate, especially if they're going to take out a loan and pay over 7%, which is an extremely risky play. And then we'll talk about the top end. We'll see what's happening with that home that's over $3 million. I'll give you some information there. Let's get to the entry level. 5317 Longfellow Street. We've seen this one before. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 614 square feet. It's listed for $700K. The price per square foot is $1140. That's very high for a low-end home under $1 million. I want that number between $400 and $700 per square foot. I'll live with 8 or 9. $1140 is probably pushing it. Although, Highland Park is very desirable. The lot's $29.53. That's fine. Now, this place is tenant occupied. So you got to have that conversation strictly. What's going on with the tenants? What are they paying as far as, their current rent? Have we had conversations about getting them out of there? Is this an investment property? $700K, you put down 20% on that, $140K. You're talking, a pretty solid monthly payment that's probably not going to cover the rents if they've been there for a while. So have that conversation and figure out what's going on. But $1140 per square foot, a little high. But let's get into something that I do like, which is my favorite play. It's 5012 Rangeview Avenue. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,828 square feet, listed for just over $1 million, 1.049 million. Incredible views. Got a deck, little garage. Here we go. $573 per square foot. Love that, especially for a house just over $1 million. Comes just under the average in Highland Park. The lot's 5,200. So decent sized lot there. Craftsman bungalow here. It sits just north of York Boulevard. Anytime I get on the east side, what's most attractive is opportunities to be able to walk to a decent downtown area where I can go to restaurants or coffee shops and just kind of have that perspective. I'm going to live in the city. Here's the big attraction for me too, is we recently had a sale right in the neighborhood. It was a 21932. So our home right here is 421822. This is a 21932. So we are double the bedrooms, the bathrooms, and the square footage. This home over here sold for $1.316 million just in the recent couple months. We're listed for $1.049. So what that tells me is if we come in, buy this house, do a little bit of simple upgrades, we have a real chance, a real potential for some appreciation for our home value to go up big time. And you have to do that if you're going to pay a 7% interest rate in today's market. And that's why I love this house. It's my favorite play in Highland Park. Without a question, checks all the boxes. Let's finish off with the top dog in the neighborhood. It's 1472 North Avenue 57, 4 bedrooms, 5 baths, 4480 square feet. Like I mentioned earlier, listed for $3.499 million. So, interesting situation here. So this home isn't fully built. All the photos you see are renderings, so they're, just kind of virtual photos here. The project starts on September 15th. It's not expected to be completed until the end of 2024. It's supposed to have an infinity pool, ADU guest house. Obviously, everything about it looks spectacular, but this is a long-term play, obviously, to get in. It's very interesting that you would purchase a home in this type of situation and not have a say in the plans and the development of the home. If you're going to pay over $3 million, I kind of want, and it's being built, I would love to have some say. But maybe if you get in soon, because the plans aren't for over a month to get started, maybe you can have some insight. That's a conversation to have. Overall, beautiful home, great opportunity. I'm a fan. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value, and we will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind. Yeah.